Hey, welcome to my channel, Live More Outdoors. This is Season 5, Episode 1. If you're new here and you like what you see, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button. If you're a return customer, I appreciate that too. It's awesome. This is still sort of overwhelming to me. Coming up in this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about selling furs, and then we'll go out in the line. I'm going to do a set construction, the pipe dream set, first time for me. And then we'll check some traps, and I'll show you a few catches, and then we'll come back here to wrap everything up. So first of all, selling furs. I used to sell to NAFA all the time. I even did like 4 videos on how to sell furs to NAFA and watching their website. But long story short, it seems like NAFA is imploding on itself. They're not accepting wild furs this year, from what I understand, whatever. But so highly unlikely I'll be sending them furs. I actually know a guy who got one of the bad checks and stuff, so yeah, a lot of people got bad checks from NAFA, and they bounced, and it's a bad deal all the way around. So I'll probably be looking into selling to FHA or to Gronies or Gronewald or what. I'm not even sure how you say it, but I know that FHA does a pickup in Altoona, and Gronies, they're planning on maybe doing a Pennsylvania pickup as well. So I'll find some place to sell my furs. And so I guess we're going to go out in the line, do a pipe dream set to the best of my ability. And if anybody's got any comments on my pipe dream set, whether I'm doing it right, wrong, or whatever, let me know. And then we'll go check a few sets and come back here to wrap things up. Hey everybody, how's it going? It is the second day of trapping season in Pennsylvania. Thanks for tuning into my channel. I put a few sets in yesterday and didn't really expect to catch anything. It was tough to put them in, solid mud and everything, so I'm going to put in a set, first time that I've ever done it. It is called the Pipe Dream set. I've seen some other videos, read some stuff, and I don't know, I'm going to do the set the way I understand it to be done. This set was developed by Mark Zagger. He's a coyote trapper out of New York, and I give him all the credit. If I do something wrong with the set and you really know how to do it, let me know. I'm going to try to do the best I can from what I understand the way the set should be done. So I'm going to show you the equipment I got first, and then we'll get to putting in the set, and then I'll discuss what I think are some of the advantages of it. The first time I've ever done this set, so we'll see how it goes here, and we'll see how they work. I think I'm going to put 2 of these sets in actually in the same location and try 2 different baits and see if one bait outperforms another, maybe. Who knows? So alright, so I'm going to get to putting this set in. Right here I got a small backing. I believe Zagger uses a backing of some type for his pipe. This is about the biggest tuft of grass I could find around here. I got a little, like a side trail that goes between field and the pond here. He uses a piece of either 3/4 or 1 inch gray conduit. This is 1 inch gray conduit. It's about, I don't know, 10 inches or a foot long. I just chopped them into like 2-foot chunks and mitered them. I don't know if that'll make it easier to drive in. I believe he used to put a drain hole somewhere down here, but he quit doing that because it was ineffective, if I understand correctly. So I don't have any drain hole here. You want to drive this almost perpendicular, but slightly angled to where you're going to bed your trap. I'm hoping the coyote will approach on this side. It could approach from the back, but I'm hoping my backing and the way this is angled, he'll end up over here. So we're going to drive this pipe in, angled slightly towards where my trap's going to be. And I'm only letting about 3 or 4 inches stick out of here. So there's about 3 inches or so. If you're real neurotic, I guess you could mark your pipe. Yeah, at an inch mark, 3 inch mark, whatever. Drive that in. Now you want a really tight trap bed. If you don't have a cookie cutter, and I've done this in the past, you can set your trap. I've set my trap before, and I've taken my trowel and dug a real tight trap bed, just poking straight down in here. But I made myself a cookie cutter. I believe I want to be about 8 to 10 inches back here. I know that's about 8 inches when I spread my fingers out, so right about here is where I want to be. Offset, I'm not worried about that really. I'm going to bash my cookie cutter in here. I really hope this set turns out to be productive, because I think we deal with some of the same type of stuff that they do in New York. And the only dumb thing I've done so far, well, not the only dumb thing, I lost my handle to my cookie cutter. So hardly any of this dirt is going to get reused, if any at all. I just throw it in my sifter here. It's actually nicer dirt than what I used yesterday in some of my sets. Now, all this root system and stuff in here is going to be great for packing the trap in, from what I've been told, or from what I've read. So basically, we want a hole underneath the trap. Now we drive our stake in. Set that anchor. Set my trap. Number 2 Bridger, dogless. Now I'm going to make sure it fits in here before I set my night latch. It's a little small. I got to tap the sides down just a little bit here. Go down just a little more. This is something definitely new to me. Not using dirt to cover the trap anyways. There we go, now it's going down in there. Now I'm just slightly below top of the dirt level here. And got it in there. I'm going to tap the sides of that dirt in a little bit. Really, that trap is not moving. Well, right there it is a little bit. Take a little of that dirt and I'm going to throw it under that lever. And I believe that he likes to tap the sides in on the dirt to help hold the trap steady. That is just the way I always bed a trap. I don't night latch until I get it pre-bedded. Now I'll set my night latch. That thing's bedded solid. Night latch is set. Give her extra little nudge here. Check it out again. There's no movement. Now, got it bedded fairly well. Not fairly, I got it bedded pretty good. I pre-cut these screens. I don't know if you can even see that, but I made these for the Bridger number 2 dogless. It pretty much covers the trap here. What this screen does, it's going to serve 2 purposes. It's going to give a bed for grass clippings to go on here. Here's one thing I know I'm going to be doing different than Zagger. I believe he brings clippings along with him and collects grass clippings and stuff. I don't have that right now, so I always have a pair of scissors. I'm just going to take some of these leaves and chop up here. So this is going to be a bedding for all the leaves and grass that I put on top of here. So if it does rain, all the water will just penetrate through the leaves and grass, go through that screen as well, and barring any solid freezing, the trap should stay functioning. So I'm just going to chop up some of this natural local debris here. I don't want anything real big on there, no sticks or anything. I'll get some of the grass here. And I mean, if these start to work, I'll be going for more conduit. I think it was $4 for a 10-foot section of 1-inch conduit. If you got 3/4, it might be $1 less or something. So I'm not sure. Well, we shall see what happens here. And that's it. No, I mean, if this works, it's going to be awesome. I'm liking it already, just setting that trap like that. So the trap's pretty hidden, can't see it. The only thing you can see is the conduit sticking out of here. So now, what I think are the total advantages of this? One is definitely speed. Yesterday I was working with mud and trying to sift mud and stuff. I mean, I have dry wax dirt at home. I didn't want to break that out yet. The advantage is, like I said, speed. The bait's going to go in here. This is designed as a bait set. It's not designed as like a pea post or for gland lures or something like that. This set was designed for baits. You want the animal here. You don't want them just come up, sniff the gland lure or whatever, the yarn, buggering off. So I'll be putting some bait down the hole. This is going to be waterproof here. This is going to keep your bait from being soaking wet all the time. It's going to keep the coyote or fox's nose off the ground a couple inches. You have a standard dirt hole, they got to stick their nose right down there, and it's right by your trap. I think just having their nose off the ground a couple inches might be effective as well. So, like I said, the disadvantage, when a solid freeze comes, that trap would freeze solid to the side of that. But if this is still effective, I'll still try the pipes with wax dirt. In the end, I'll try to modify it when the real cold temperatures come. But for right now, I'm going with this. So I'm going to put another one of these in and bait them up, and I'll show you the finished product of everything. Okay, I got 2 sets complete. Again, advantages. I'm going to recap these. Eye appeal keeps the coyote or fox's nose off the ground and away from your trap. The trap, waterproof, it can rain and stuff. If the pipe wasn't there, you wouldn't be able to see this. I might start using this bedding method on just some of my regular flat sets where I have possibility of trap thieves. I got one set right here on one side of this little trail. Last year I caught a gray here and I caught a coyote right here. So I put 2 almost identical sets in, but this set has Predator Bait Plus from Cavens, and a little bit of the other lure I was thinking of was Canine Force. Just a tiny bit of Canine Force there. It's a food-based lure. And over here, on the other side of this little trail, I got, in this one, I got Top Dog and the same type of lure. A little bit of Canine Force, just a dab on the top of there. So it's all a food-based thing. So we're gonna see how this goes, and I'm gonna go get some more steel on the ground. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so here's my first catch of the year. Looks like a young coyote. I basically had a number 2 bridger and that little flat set right here on the edge of this road. I had just 2 small holes poked in. I had some Cavens Violator 7 in one hole and some Predator Bait Plus in another hole. Just 2 tiny holes. Very subtle set, really. So, first coyote of the year. Well, here's my remake. I reused the same trap, had a little bit of fern stuff on it, just rubbed it off. It was pretty clean, not mudded up. There was some coyote scat right over here, real fresh. I'm assuming it was hers, it was a female coyote. I moved the coyote scat over here and pretty much just gathered up a bunch of the duff and made like a little hay mound set almost. Poked a little hole underneath it again, and I put a completely different smell under there. And I put some Canine Force up underneath there in a tiny hole. Rebedded my trap, covered it up a little bit, blended it in. But now the gig is up. If person walks by here, they're going to know something happened here. So I try to keep a lot of these sets in certain locations blended in really well, but once you make a catch, it's up. So now I just hope that people who see it are honest. And my dispatch pull worked really well. One coyote down. Hopefully more to come. Good morning, everybody. It is Halloween day here, and pretty much rained all last night, but I still managed to catch a red fox this morning. And I'm not sure what set this is in. I got had a dirt hole and a pipe dream set. Now if this is a pipe dream set, this is not the one that I showed the video on making, so I'm sure this baby's all nice and muddy. Definitely. Nothing but a big mud pit. Got it in a pipe dream set. Cool. And darn if I didn't have a miss here too. Was that him or was that a pair? I'm not sure. There could have been a pair here, but had a dirt hole here, and obviously I missed one here. I'm just using Bridger 175s here because it definitely could easily have a cat, house cat or something here, so I don't want a really powerful trap. So, but my first ever catch in a pipe dream set. Not sure, I mean, he's covered in mud, so, and I'll be sending furs to somewhere else besides Napa this year, that's for sure, because Napa's pretty much imploding. So I'm gonna harvest this guy. I don't have a lot of traps. I mean, my wife still isn't 100%, so I'm just running a really short line right now. So got a real nice catch on him there in that 175 Bridger. They're nice little traps, really. I've caught about everything in them, from bobcats to coyotes. So I'm gonna reset this thing. It's a big mud puddle right now, but I'm gonna try my best to reset it and see how it works. So cool. Thanks, Zagger. Okay, well, got my pipe dream sets remade, rebedded. Lesson learned, definitely. I sat way too close to this water table right here. I knew this is a great place. This little pond is like right in the middle of a large field, and it's a real eye tractor. But I should have been, you probably can't see the gradient, but if I'd have just been up here like 2 or 3 feet, well, maybe more than that, about 6 to 10 feet up this direction, just a slight incline, and it would have still been muddy, but it wouldn't have been that right there. But did the best I could. The bedding isn't the best of conditions, so did the best I could resetting that. And I also reset the dirt hole. It's pretty much full of water too though, but I know they can still smell it. But I used the Zagger method of bedding my trap right there as well. So one red down, so not too bad of a week so far. 2 canines down on the first week so far. So all right, thanks again for tuning in. Well, I believe I got the first raccoon of the year. Question is, how prime is he going to be? This is actually the last. I just caught the red fox and remade those sets, and this is actually my 6th and last check of the day. Not a tiny one, not a giant one, but oh, it looks like something was in my pipe dream too. This is a flat set. Wow, the critters were moving around here last night, last year. I had something in my pipe dream set too. It's gone. It's got a catch circle there. That's a good sized coon, really. I'm gonna be harvesting this one for 2 things. One, the landowner, he wants me here trapping these things out of here. And I wanna see how prime this thing is. So this was a compass set, and there's a little logging road looking thing going here. When the landowner brought me here, he was showing me around the property where I could trap and stuff. We walked down this logging road, and my buddy was with me, buddy Mike. He pointed and said, "There's a coyote right there." So we busted a coyote right out of these woods, so I know there's coyotes running around here too. That's a decent sized coon, really. So I'm gonna see how prime it is and see what kind of fur is in here. I don't know. Looks like it maybe got out because of the screen. Maybe I got my screens too big. I'm just covering the trap though. It was in here for a little while. Whatever it was in here for a minute, because it's a half decent catch circle. So I got to remake both of these sets real quick and get on home. So, well, the pipe dream had this whole farm area had no activity. I got 4 other locations I set, and I had no activity whatsoever at them, but all 4 sets at this farm have had activity on them. So, all right, here's my remakes. This was a little bit easier here. It's a lot drier here. This was the compass set. Somewhere in here there's 4 different lures. I think there's actually 2 baits. I think I had 2 baits and 2 holes and 2 different lures. I wrote them down, so I'm trying to keep some notes of my stuff, so and see what's catching. Here's my remake of my pipe dream. Like I said, I'm not sure if the screen caused the issue. It was an MB550 that was in, but I don't know. It was in there for a little while. The catch, there's a pretty defined catch circle, so whatever it was just pulled out. And just used some of the duff there as the backing for the pipe. And so, alrighty, not a bad final check of the day. All right, I hope you enjoyed the time out in the line. I hope they'll get another video out next week. I got my line is really small this year. My wife is still, I mean, she's not in the hospital anymore. That's a good thing. I can set a few traps, but she's not like 100% better. So I think I had 6 check locations total, and I got like 2 traps maybe at most. I got a third at a couple of them now, doing remakes. So I got a really short line. I'm going to show you whatever I can, and hopefully my wife stays on the mend, and if I get more traps set, great. If not, so be it. I'm just having fun outside. The coon, the boar coon I caught turned out to be pretty good size. It's probably a 3X, and it was really prime. I mean, I was really surprised. The coyote, the pelt was still pretty blue, but the fur was pretty nice. I've caught worse coyotes in late November, early December, really. So the fur is actually pretty decent on it. The red, it's blue and the fur is weak, both. So the red could have stood a couple more weeks. The coon was good. So if you're after raccoons in northern Pennsylvania and you're catching big boars, I'd harvest them, and they're looking pretty good. So hopefully I'll get another video next week. Thanks for tuning in, and hope everybody has a great day.